With the injury to Christian Watson and the timeliness of it, it certainly takes the wind out of the Packers' sails heading into the playoffs. But I think the Packers have the perfect Christian Watson replacement that we will talk about in this video. If you listen to commentators, you listen to sports media, social media out there, and anybody talking about this Packer Philadelphia matchup, a lot of them are just saying, hey, listen, that difference maker for the Packers offense is gone now with the absence of Christian Watson, gone for the season. Their offense becomes a bit predictable. They don't have that deep ball threat. They've missed their red zone target in Christian Watson, all of that stuff. I'm here to kind of give you a different perspective of that. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Christian Watson. I do think the Packer offense this season is better with Christian Watson out there. I think Jordan Love's confidence goes up with Christian Watson out there and the deep ball threat that this guy can be. And maybe not necessarily that he has been, but the fact that he can, and he can draw that defense out there. But when you start talking about just the red zone target for Christian Watson, and a lot of commentators are saying, well, now that red zone guy is gone for the Packers offense. But I don't understand that, because Christian Watson has 2 touchdowns, 2 of the 25 touchdown passes from Jordan Love this season. And then you look to a guy like Romeo Doubs, who's just been, he had that little mental mishap there this season, but 6'2", big target, big frame. He's got 4. So he's doubled Christian Watson's touchdowns this season. So then you look to a guy like Jaden Reed, a guy that's kind of struggled. Last week, he had 2 catches, targeted twice. Thought Jaden Reed looked super good. He was coming back for balls, looking like the Jaden Reed that we know. He has 6 touchdowns on the year. What about Dontayvion Wicks? And this is the guy that I think is the perfect Christian Watson replacement. Before you tune me out and just be like, dude, are you kidding me? Dontayvion Wicks, anytime that Jordan Love was throwing to Dontayvion Wicks, it was a drop, and this dude was a headache. And I agree with you. For the first half of the season, I thought the exact same thing. Why did I think that? Well, he was thrown to, before the bye week, Dontayvion Wicks was targeted 43 times. He came up with 16 catches of those 43 targets. Since the bye week, this dude has changed, okay? And he's become more of the Dontayvion Wicks of last season that we remember. In fact, when you start talking about Christian Watson this season, he's averaging 19 point, I wrote it down here. I'm sorry. He's averaging 14.9 yards per reception. Dontayvion Wicks averaged 14.9 yards per reception last season. And I think he can get back to that same form. Okay, so Dontayvion Wicks, if you remember, he opened up the preseason against Cleveland, and they opened it up with Jordan Love throwing a 65-yard touchdown pass to Dontayvion Wicks. Yes, it was the preseason, but I certainly think they can get back to that same fashion and that same form. Since the bye week, this dude has changed. He's been targeted a total of 33 times, and he has 23 receptions. That's 37.2% prior to the bye week. Post bye week, he's received 69.6% of his passes. So this dude has dramatically changed, and I think this is the perfect Christian Watson replacement. You can even look to a guy like Bo Melton, who was super reliable with the absence of Christian Watson last season. Not as big of a frame, 5'11", but he is a speedster. I really like Bo Melton. He's been huge for them on special teams this year. And then you've got Malik Heath. Malik Heath, in and of itself, has 2 touchdown targets this year, matching what Christian Watson has this season. And then you've got somebody like Tucker Kraft, who has just become one of the better tight ends in the league. He's got 7 touchdown targets on the season. But let's not forget a guy like Luke Musgrave that can not maybe be the downfield target or threat like Christian Watson, but this dude creates separation, and he should be coming back with some fresh legs, getting back to maybe his true form. I really like Luke Musgrave coming out of college. I was big on Luke Musgrave, and then Tucker Kraft came into the scene and just kind of blew everybody's mind with the injuries to Luke Musgrave, created opportunities for Tucker Kraft to just come into his own. But Luke Musgrave, don't sleep on this dude. He can create a lot of separation. So if the Packers come out with a 2 tight end set, I really like Luke Musgrave there. Christian Watson. Okay, so when we start talking about PFF, I know I've referred back to PFF a lot, but I do like in it how it takes into account a lot of factors here. But 69.1 overall PFF score. Dontayvion Wicks' score went dramatically up since the bye week. He's at 65.3. I think this is the absolute perfect um, answer for the absence of Christian Watson. You take a look at just the separation creates in this video here. I mean, you've just got multiple highlights of him creating separation between him and the defender. He's a great route runner. That has never been the argument. It's just the fact that his hands at the beginning of the season were so awful, but he's dramatically turned the corner there. Leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts. I think this is the absolute perfect Christian Watson replacement. Let me know your thoughts. And as always, go, Pack, go.